SportReported, yeah?
Yeah, mate, we're live. Hello.
Oh, all right.
Good evening, everyone, or no one, because literally nobody would be watching this, but nonetheless. I just want to start by apologising, really, for kind of the long hiatus there's been of everything, because it's just been a bit of a nightmare. The videos that started on this channel, I wasn't happy with how they were coming out. And although this is a bit of a half-hearted attempt, because of the nature of trying to stream this, we will be doing videos like this, just talking about various different sporting topics. So it will be pretty straightforward. Not too much editing involved. Well, no editing involved. And that will be the case as well for a lot of the Euro 2020 videos, because it is so quick fire. We just want to get it out there. So yeah, but this evening, and it is bloody late now, it's 11:30, we are going to be discussing the announcement of the England Euro 2020 squad, and we've had to wait a while. I mean, today was the deadline as far as I'm aware, and we got announced a provisional 33-man squad last week, which was cut down to 26 today. So I will begin by introducing my guest for today, Mr. Jason. How are we doing?
Not bad, mate. Thank you for having me on.
No worries, mate. No worries. So the squad, then the final 26-man squad is as follows. We'll go with the goalkeepers first. We've got Dean Henderson, Sam Johnston, Jordan Pickford. The defenders are Trent Alexander-Arnold, Ben Chilwell, Connor Cody, Reece James, Harry Maguire, Tyrone Mings, Luke Shaw, John Stones, Kieran Trippier, and Kyle Walker. Only 5 midfielders with Jude Bellingham, Jordan Henderson, Mason Mount, Calvin Phillips, and Declan Rice. And then the forwards, although they're not necessarily all forwards, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, Harry Kane, Marcus Rashford, Bukayo Saka, Jadon Sancho, and Raheem Sterling. Now, that means the 7 that missed out were Mason Greenwood, who withdrew due to injury, Aaron Ramsdale, Ben White, Ben Godfrey, James Ward-Prowse, which we'll get onto in a second, Jesse Lingard, and Ollie Watkins. So I wanted to start by really talking about who you think missed out on the 33-man squad, who you would have had there to begin with.
I probably would have had James Ward-Prowse 100%. For me, I think I told you
in the 33. I'm talking about who missed out on the 33-man squad. Provision.
Tomori 100% has to be one of them.
Absolutely, yeah.
Unbelievable season at AC Milan, and I think he's just got overlooked. Whether that's because he plays in the Serie A, I don't know.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, I think he's had an unbelievable season. He's obviously really young as well.
Yeah.
And Southgate showed he's got trust in youth by who he's picked, so I just don't know why he wasn't in there.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Anyone else?
Yeah, there's Aaron Cresswell. I think I mentioned to you.
That's an interesting one. That's a bit of an oddball, that one.
It's controversial, but I think he's had an unbelievable season.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think he doesn't get in ahead of Chilwell and Shaw, but I would have put him in the 33. But whether he makes the 26 or not, probably not. Ezri Konsa was another one.
Yeah.
I would have had over Tyrone Mings. I think he's a better player than Mings.
100%. The thing about, definitely one of Tomori or Konsa should have, possibly even both of them should have got into the 33. I don't know if Gareth Southgate still prefers Mings to Konsa as a player. I think it's clear for anyone to see, and I don't know if he prefers Mings to Tomori as a player as well. I think it's pretty clear to see that both of those players had a better season than Mings. In my opinion, I think the only reason Mings and Cody went over them was because Mings is left-footed, and Konsa and Tomori aren't, and because Cody plays in a back three for Wolves, and particularly if Maguire's not fit, having someone who can play in a back three is, I suppose, a bonus. So
yeah. Also, Chris Smalling down with a question mark. So I wasn't sure if he's still playing international football or not. But
Just see a comment here. Bellingham, Jordan Henderson, Mount, Phillips, Rice, Calvert-Lewin, Foden, Grealish, Kane, Saka. Oh, God, this is Sancho, Raheem, Aaron Ramsdale, Ben Godfrey, Ben White, Jesse Lingard, JWP, and Watkins miss it. That's like half the squad missing out.
play with five-a-side team.
Play with five-a-side, yeah. Nah. I'm trying to. Yeah, I mean, unless he's trying to say, I'm not sure. If you could, hang on, let me just. Sorry, I'm not used to this. England. Oh, okay. This is the team. Okay,
That's
all right. Yeah, all right. I see. Gotcha. Dean Henderson.
Interesting
To say the least. Yeah. Right. Okay. I don't know how to get rid of that now. So there we go. Right. Can tell I haven't done this before, can't you? So yeah, I definitely think that Tomori and Konza were a little bit unlucky to miss out of the 33. But we'll move on to then obviously the 7 that were cut. And firstly, I mean, would Greenwood have gone if he wasn't injured? I think that's the first thing.
for me, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. I think he's probably one of the best finishers we've got. That's probably why I would have taken him, because he's clinical.
Yeah. For me, yeah, I think Saka's maybe a little bit lucky in a sense that I think if Greenwood wasn't injured, Greenwood maybe would have taken Saka's place. The only thing Saka's a great player, don't get me wrong. I think the only thing Saka offers that maybe others don't is versatility. And we don't really need versatility when we've got 4 right backs, 2 left backs, and a player who, one of the right backs in Trippier, who can play at left back. So, yeah, I think Saka's a little bit lucky there. But, I mean, Ben Godfrey missed out. Do you reckon he should have gone on merit? Because, I mean, really, the explanation was that Mings is left-footed. As I said before, Cody can play in a 3. Hence why that's why Godfrey misses out. So do you reckon Godfrey should have gone on merit despite maybe not offering any of those things?
Yeah, I think he should have, because I just think he's a better player than Conor Cody. I think Conor Cody's had probably one of his poorest seasons so far. So I don't think Wolves all round have had a great season. Whether that's due to Jimenez being out, but they conceded quite a lot of goals this season. And yeah, I don't think he's had the greatest season. I think Godfrey stepped up, to be fair. But like you said, Cody can play in the 3 or the 5, depending on what way you look at it.
Yeah, I'm just seeing Mikel Antonio could have been in it. I'm pretty sure he plays for Jamaica. Does he represent Jamaica?
I think he changed, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he changed to Jamaica. I'm not sure about that one, but I mean, I don't think he makes it, Antonio. But yeah, James Maddison's a decent shot. I don't think he had his greatest season, but yeah, we'll see. A lot of comments coming in here from Bauham. We'll get to them in a second. So next up, then. I mean, firstly, actually, I have to agree that Ben Godfrey should have probably gone on merit. I definitely see the thinking behind taking Cody and Mings, but I mean, Godfrey's had such an unbelievable season, and yeah, I mean, he could play anywhere along the back line, Godfrey as well, which is again a good quality to have, particularly if Maguire's going to possibly be an injury concern. But again, I can see why he did it. Now, next up is the one that's annoyed me the most. And I'll just read this out for a second. JWP's a set piece taker. Yeah, we're just about to talk about that. Should have taken Ben Foster for the vlogs. Yes,
Yes,
absolutely should have. Yeah. Can you take like a representative vlogger for each nation? I reckon that should be included in the squad. Yeah, he's changed the team, which is he's changed to Jamaica again. I don't think Antonio makes it, but yeah, he's changed to Jamaica. And Tottenham, Everton, Wolves, Crystal Palace now all need a manager. Yeah, I mean the Everton news was just ridiculous, wasn't it? With Carlo Ancelotti going.
So quick as well.
Yeah, and then obviously, I mean, Wolves. I don't know what Wolves are going to do. I mean, I think a lot of Wolves fans are maybe getting a bit too big for their boots with the whole Nuno thing. I think Nuno did a great job this season, maybe not so well, but for them to kind of be happy that he's gone, I thought was strange. And now, obviously, Palace look like they're going to get Nuno. So, yeah, interesting one, really. But James Ward-Prowse missed out on the 26th. Now, I am a Southampton fan, if any of you don't know. And I was a little bit, well, more than a little bit disappointed at this, to say the least. I think, and a lot of, obviously, people are going to say that it's bias and whatever. And you're more than entitled to think that. But genuinely, I think that the fact that I don't mind taking however many but I think 4 right backs and 5 midfielders is ridiculous. And then the midfielders we've taken, we've got a half fit, not even half fit Jordan Henderson. The thing is that with 9 out of our 12 goals at the World Cup came from set pieces. So what do? We send home our best set piece taker. JWP should be in for Phillips, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree, Ryan. I think Phillips definitely offers something different. He's a good defensive-minded midfielder, but I mean, yeah, for me, JWP had to be there because I mean nobody else offers what he does from set pieces. I mean, what do you think, Jason?
I have to agree. I'm not even a Saints fan, but for me, I had him starting in the first Euros game. That's how confident I was going to be.
Yeah,
squad, but
a lot of people were like that. A lot of people were starting.
Southgate's obviously got different minds. Maybe that's led to him taking Trent. I don't know with the set pieces because obviously I'd say Trent is probably second best,
possibly, yeah,
in terms of set pieces. But I don't know how Ward-Prowse isn't in the team, considering, like you said, 9 goals from the World Cup with set pieces.
Yeah,
it's not just set pieces as well. He works quite hard. He's box to box.
Yeah,
that's probably something we need.
No, I agree. He's box to box, definitely more so than Phillips, more so than any of the midfielders we've got. Really, you could argue probably Bellingham could play the box to box role.
Or Mason Mount,
yeah, Mason Mount could play box to box. Yeah. So I mean, but the thing is as well, and I understand the argument that if James Ward-Prowse isn't starting, is it worth taking him for him to come on as a sub in the 75th minute and possibly get a free kick? But I think that's a risk worth taking. And he's certainly someone, if someone gets an injury, he'll go in there and he'll do a job. And like I say, I mean, I just had images of a free kick from 25 yards out at the Euros. James Ward-Prowse curling it in top bins. I'm really disappointed I'm not going to get to see that. But hey.
We saw in the World Cup how many fouls and set pieces there were.
Yeah,
just exactly. In every single game.
Yeah, no, I agree. But
yeah,
so the next one we're going to talk about is Jesse Lingard, who also missed out. And I think he's had a great season, obviously. Well, a great half season for West Ham United. Considering before January, he wasn't even in the conversation to be in Manchester United squad. And now he's in the England picture. Is he a little bit unlucky after his run at West Ham?
Yeah, for me, he is. I think he is.
Yeah.
Like you said, January, we probably wouldn't be talking about him now. But no. I think a big tournament as well, you want your big players and you want your players on form.
Mm.
And Lingard's been one of those who's been on form. We thought it was going to be a few games and then it's going to end. And he just kept performing week in, week out. He's performing.
Yeah.
And I think he's unlucky, very unlucky. Personally, I would have taken him over Bellingham just because I feel like Bellingham's, 17?
Yeah.
He's very, very young. He's got so many years to learn. And I think Lingard's proven it as well at the last World Cup. He scored that banger, didn't he? It was against Panama. I think it was.
It was Panama. Yeah.
And yeah, like Ryan's just said in the comment there, we're probably going to get onto the Austria friendly, but why he's starting in that, I just don't get
Well,
it.
This is the thing, is that, I mean, we'll get on to Ollie Watkins in a minute, but James Ward-Prowse, Jesse Lingard and Ollie Watkins have all been told that they will be involved in these two kind of warm-up friendlies, despite the fact they're not in the squad. And firstly, I didn't even actually know that would be allowed, because I thought once you name your final squad, that's it. You play those teams in the friendlies or whatever. But I mean, I guess you can play whoever in international friendlies. I get it, but I don't. In this, I mean, I only very slightly get it, and the reason he's given, essentially, he hasn't said this up front, because I mean, I'm not sure this would be the greatest thing to say, but he's essentially said that there's 3 players in there who maybe aren't 100% in terms of fitness wise, and he's gonna give these guys a run out. We're talking JWP, Watkins, and Lingard, and keep them fresh and make them prove to him really that they're ready to be thrown in if they need to be. And I mean, you would have to imagine that the injured players he's talking about are probably Henderson, Phillips possibly, because he had that shoulder injury. And up front, Watkins, we're maybe talking Marcus Rashford, who's had a few knocks. Yeah, well, but we're talking Watkins here, so yeah. Watkins would probably be for. I mean, I know Rashford's been on injections a lot to play, so I mean, yeah, I don't really know, but I can see the thinking, but it does seem very strange to pick a 26-man squad and then start players who aren't in the squad in that game. So yeah, love that from you, Ryan. Thank you very much. So, I mean, we'll talk about Ollie Watkins now, actually, as we got the chance. I mean, there was a lot of debate, really. It seems crazy now that there was all of that debate over who should be the third choice striker, and they weren't even going to go anyway. So there was, Watkins or Bamford or Ings or whoever else, But do you think Watkins was right to be cut, or?
Yeah, I think it's harsh, but I think possibly, yeah, because we've got Kane, he's obviously going to be playing pretty much every game.
Yeah.
Calvert-Lewin is probably ahead of Watkins at the moment.
Yeah.
And then we've also got Rashford and Sterling can both play striker.
Yeah.
So there's quite a lot of options. And obviously with the discussion of Watkins, Bamford, Ings, there's positives and negatives for every single one of them.
Yeah. I mean, they all offer something different. They're all strikers, but they all offer something different.
That's the thing, yeah.
So it's not, because I know a lot of Leeds fans are kind of been plastering, the stats that Bamford's got the most goals out of all of them, and I completely understand that. But there's more to it than that. There's more to it, because if we picked an England 11 based on who's got the best stats, there would be some players in there you might not expect. I'm pretty sure. Firstly, for Jason, Aaron Cresswell, I think would start, and there's a number of other players who certainly shouldn't be starting for England, no offence, but would be starting based on stats. And stats can be deceiving sometimes. But, it was irrelevant, really, that the argument for the third choice striker. I do think Watkins is a little bit unlucky, but again, is it really necessary to take a third striker? I'm not too sure.
And next season, it could be Ivan Toney thrown into the equation for the World Cup, depending on
Ivan Toney, yeah, Ivan Toney. That's an interesting one. Ivan Toney, has he played at the youth ranks? I don't think he has he?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
I don't know. Yeah, and I don't know if he has the option to qualify for anyone else. But Toney, I mean, yeah, that's another interesting one to see whether he'll actually.
I know Solanke and Nketiah have, but I don't know about Toney.
Nketiah has.
Nketiah and Solanke have both played for the youth levels, but I don't know about Toney.
Oh yeah. I'm not too sure. Yeah, Vardy, if he wasn't retired for international, Vardy would be in the mix. Yeah, of course he would. I think his legs are starting to go a little bit now, I would say.
Yeah, well, I would love to. I would just love to see a Jamie Vardy winner.
Oh yeah, that would be class. Yeah, I think he certainly retired for England a bit too early, but maybe I guess he wanted to focus on Leicester. I don't really know the thinking behind it. So I mean the big thing that's come from all of this really is 4 right backs. We've taken 4 right backs. And talk to me, Jason. Is 4 right backs necessary? I mean, I don't know.
Personally, no, not for me.
Yeah.
We had this. I think we've been talking most of the day about like who's going to be the right back that misses out, and to see all 4 in there, I was shocked. I was shocked because I think it does show a weakness in Southgate that he's not got the guts to drop one of them and show.
Do you think he grows affinities to players?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I feel that's what I think. I think he knows his players. He knows the ones like he's going to put in 100%, and then because I think it was between Trippier and Trent that were the 2 that were going to be. Because I think Walker and James were, well, in my opinion anyway, it was Walker and James that were insecure. And I said I think Trent should have missed out. I still do. I still think he shouldn't be in the squad.
That's a big step because I know you've been a big advocate of Trent for a while.
Yeah,
So.
I do rate him. I think he's a very talented player, but
Yeah.
I just think I would have taken Ward-Prowse and left Trent behind. But because obviously he said about he can see Trent playing in midfield. But I just feel like why do you need that when
We've got
Ward-Prowse
acting midfielders. Yeah.
he's a natural midfielder.
Yeah.
And obviously he said about all of them are versatile. He doesn't see them as 4 right backs, which is fair enough. But I'm not sure this is a major tournament. I don't think you want to be messing about with unnatural positions and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. And of course, like I say, of course, versatility is important. And with players like Walker, as Ryan has also said, Walker can play centre back. It's not massively unnatural for him because he's played there quite a lot. I know City don't really play a 3 at the back, so he hasn't played it maybe so much lately, but he's played 3 at the back a fair number of times before. And obviously he can play out and out right back as well. But I just think with the others, Trent, I mean, I don't remember the last time he ever played wing back. He's certainly not played there much. Mm-hmm. I know James has played there on occasion, but I think, he's played there a fair bit, I suppose, for Chelsea, but he's more of an out and out right back. And then you've got Trippier, who, again, Trippier certainly hasn't played in the back 3 all too much. He's kind of either played right back or left back. So, but he can play wing back. So I understand the versatility argument, but like you say, don't get me wrong, it's not like none of these players deserve to be there. They're all top quality right backs, and that is the position we've been blessed in. We are absolutely blessed with our right back choices. I just think taking away one of those midfield positions from a player like James Ward-Prowse, who in my opinion could offer so much more, was just a silly decision, really. And I think actually was probably his 2 mistakes, I would say. Taking 4 right backs and dropping James Ward-Prowse. I wouldn't have had too many more issues with the rest of the squad, I don't think.
I think from what we've from what we're seeing in this squad here, he's telling us that we're basically going to be playing a back 3 or a back 5 from what he's picked.
Well, yeah, this is the thing. This is the thing is that he said Maguire isn't fit or is unlikely to be fit for Croatia. If Maguire's not fit, we play 3 at the back.
And that's the only way Trent gets in the team for me is if he's got Walker right centre back behind him.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree because without that, I don't think he's got adequate cover. To be honest with you, I mean, is it fair? Is it fair to take half fit players?
I'm a bit 50-50 on this one because Southgate's way about it has been at the World Cup. He didn't want to take any half fit players. He took a full fit 26, and he said when he named the 33, he wanted to take a full fit 26, but or whether it's 23 at the World Cup, I'm not sure, but maybe it's the extra 3 that's making him pick the unfit players. But I did think about this earlier, and I would take Maguire and Henderson, because personally, obviously they're 2 unfit ones, and Hendo I don't think has kicked a ball in ages.
Since February, yeah.
Yeah, February. Yeah, he's been out for a while, but they're just both leaders, and that's whether they're on the pitch or not. If they're in the dressing room, that's a big boost for the whole squad.
Yeah,
both of them pure leaders.
Well, the thing is that I don't really have too many issues with obviously I don't have any issues with Maguire, because I mean, if he's not fit for Croatia game, so be it. I obviously don't want him rushed back, but it's absolutely integral that he's there. Even if he can't necessarily play a full 90 minutes by the end of the group stage, because I think we've still got enough probably to, even if we don't win the group, get out of the group pretty comfortably without Maguire. It's after that we need him, really. And even obviously he's not necessarily going to be up to full match fitness if that's the case by the group knockout stages, but absolutely I would take Maguire because we need him. He's by far our best centre back. Henderson, I'm not sure on. I don't mind him being there for the dressing room, but if he's not going to play, I said this to you earlier. I was like, can we not just take him and he can sit on the bench as one of the coaching staff? Like, it seems frustrating, really, that he's taken the place of someone like James Ward-Prowse, who has worked, and even Jesse Lingard. I know they're different players, but who is fit, has worked hard to be there. I'm not saying Jordan Henderson doesn't work hard. I know he's one of the hardest workers in the game, but he's been injured for months, and I just think it's a little bit of a kick in the teeth to those other players. And if you need someone for the dressing room, just bring them with you. You don't have to register them as a player. I don't know if I actually don't know if there's any kind of regulation against that. But yeah, nonetheless. So, I mean, I'm guessing you're not massively for JWP, Watkins and Lingard playing in these friendlies then?
No, not at all. I think, especially as these are warm-up friendlies for the Euros, you want to... this is the games where Southgate's got to be thinking, right, who do I need to look at? Who's not? Who do I know, like, that I need to see to get ready for Croatia?
Yeah.
And he's not really helping himself in picking his starting 11 for Croatia unless he's already got it set in his mind, which could be the case. But obviously, with the unsurety of Maguire, I'm not really sure he has. Yeah, I just don't understand it. Like, if you're them players, are you angry that you get the disappointing news and then they ask you if you want to stay at the camp? You stay at the camp and then you're going to be playing an England shirt, and then knowing in 6 days you're going to be going home.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, with James Ward-Prowse, I know. Well, he actually got told yesterday. James Ward-Prowse. This might have been the same for the others as well. He got told yesterday by Gareth Southgate that he wasn't going to be in the squad, and he got asked whether he basically got told, you can go home now if you want, or you can stay here with the squad. It's up to you, and you'll be included in the friendlies. And James said absolutely straight away, I'm staying. I want to be the squad.
All 7 of them said that, yeah.
All 3 of them said that, yeah. But I think, if nothing else, that certainly shows the professionalism, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
And their hunger and desire. I mean, I think JWP is one of those players. His feet are on the ground. He won't be pointing fingers or throwing his toys out the pram that he's not in the squad. He'll, if anything, I think it'll make him hungry to improve, push further, and make it to the World Cup squad in 2022.
Yeah.
Which, if it's still 26, maybe he's in with a shout.
The only reason I can assume he said to them, so like, you're going to be in the squad tomorrow, is maybe just like a way of him saying, sorry, you're not in the 26, but go out there and prove me wrong, like why you should be in there.
Well, he did say, I know he said to Lingard, he said, you're going to start tomorrow, or I think it's tomorrow. Yeah, against Austria, go out and prove me wrong. And he may well have said that to the others as well. But like I said, I think it is partially because there are those slightly unfit players who they may have to be called up for.
Yeah.
So there's that thinking behind it as well. But I think if nothing else, it will be kind of a, prove me wrong and I'll pick you next time kind of thing. So yeah, I guess all that's left to be done now is to pick our starting 11s for the Euros, which is exciting. But first things first, I want to read out to you the squad numbers because I don't read too much into squad numbers, but this set of squad numbers certainly could suggest a starting 11, I think, because they're all players that you would expect really to be there or thereabouts. So, number 1, Jordan Pickford. Number 2, Kyle Walker. Number 3, Luke Shaw. Number 4, Declan Rice. Number 5, John Stones. Number 6, Harry Maguire. Number 7, Jack Grealish. Number 8, Jude Bellingham. Number 9, Harry Kane. Number 10, Raheem Sterling. And number 11, Marcus Rashford. That's the first 11. Could that suggest the first 11?
It could, but it's not for me.
Not for you.
Not for me. No, I wouldn't be happy with that starting 11.
You won't be happy. I mean, realistically, if it's that, that's 4 at the back. That's not 3 at the back.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with 4 at the back. I prefer 4 at the back personally. I think England's best formation is the 4-3-3.
Yeah.
Midfield, I don't mind Grealish starting. I don't even massively mind Bellingham starting, to be honest with you. I think Henderson is the one that stands out a little bit, throwing him straight back into tournament football. But if you're going to take him, I suppose you might as well, if he's fit, play him. Because the only reason he's there is for his experience, I guess. And then, the rest kind of go on, obviously, into the teens and 20s. And it is, as I said, kind of in order of what... My bad. Jude Bellingham isn't in the starting lineup. I think I read Jordan Henderson twice. My bad. It's just Grealish and Henderson. And then Kane, Sterling, and Rashford. So that would suggest 4-3-3, which again, I don't mind. I wouldn't be massively against that starting lineup. But
obviously it's the two unfit players are in there, with Maguire and Hendo.
Yeah, I think, when you consider that, you can just imagine Croatia, first game of the Euros. I'm pretty sure it's still 3 subs, isn't it? It's just 3 subs.
Might be 5? It might be 5.
If it's 3, can you imagine 20 minutes in, both Maguire and Henderson go off injured? We've only got 1 sub.
I'd happily rest both of them for Croatia. Because as well, I also think finishing second is a better route, in my opinion. Than winning the
Hello, Lukey boy. Hello.
Winning the group. Because obviously if we win the group, we've got France, Portugal or Germany in the last 16. If we come second, we've got them in the quarterfinals.
Yeah. So we'll go through both of our starting lineup. Maguire is a supposedly touch and go for Croatia. Yeah, no, we just said that I'm pretty sure he's pretty much ruled out, I would say, of Croatia, which means for Croatia, we're likely going to be starting a back 3. But I've done a starting lineup for if Maguire is fit and if Maguire isn't fit. So my starting lineup for if Maguire is fit, I'll go for first, and I'll go to Jason. Maguire's fit, Jordan Pickford in goal, Ben Chilwell at left back, Harry Maguire and John Stones at centre back, Kyle Walker at right back, and then playing a 4-3-3 formation with obviously kind of 1 CDM, 1 box to box, and 1 cam. Declan Rice, Mason Mount, Phil Foden. And then left wing, I changed last minute. I had Raheem Sterling down, but I was thinking about his form and I was thinking, you can't start him with his form. So I've started Jack Grealish, which is maybe a bit of an oddball. But I think the the reason I started Sterling was for his dribbling ability, and I thought his season's been quite poor. His form's been dreadful lately, and we've got him in there for dribbling ability. And when you talk about dribbling ability, it's probably no one better than Grealish. So, what? What?
Nothing.
Harry Kane up top, and then Jadon Sancho on the right. What is your starting 11, Jason Davis? So, firstly, what do you think of mine? Actually,
Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah, I think it's a decent lineup. We've gone for a different formation, which is interesting.
Wait, even if Maguire's fit, you're going for 3 at the back.
Yeah, even if Maguire's fit, I'm going for in the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this what your lineup is, or is this what you think Southgate's going to go for? Because mine was.
This is what I would do if I was Southgate.
Yeah. This is what I would do. Yeah.
But yeah, I think your lineup's good. Obviously, Grealish is the standout questionable one. But like you said, he's probably had a better season than Sterling, even though he's been injured.
Yeah.
And the only other option was Rashford on the left, really, who, like you said, he's played a lot of minutes. So whether he starts or not,
I don't think Rashford thrives on the left anyway.
No, but there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's say your starting lineup then. Is this if Maguire's fit?
If Maguire's fit, it's controversial from the start because I'm not starting Pickford.
I'm assuming. Please don't say you're starting Sam Johnston. No, you're starting Henderson. Yeah.
Henderson.
Okay.
I think he was unlucky to miss out on the Europa League final.
I think the idea behind it was meant to be a send off for David De Gea, and actually did the opposite.
It kind of U-turned on him quite quickly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going with Dean Henderson.
Yeah.
Which is controversial because Pickford obviously does well for England, but I also put Hendo in for the Austria game. So this is depending on.
Sorry, I'll just jump in a second.
Yeah,
do you think we can trust Henderson in goal at a major tournament?
I need him to start against Austria and Romania to see more of him. Do I trust him right now? Yeah, probably do. Yeah, because he's performed for United, and obviously they're one of the second best club in England right now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, are they though? Are they, or did they?
The league tells us they are.
Yeah, the league tells us they are, but I think they finished second because Liverpool's injuries and Chelsea's situation under Frank, and they had a few injuries as well. Next season, I think they'll finish fourth.
Yeah, next season is just going to be an incredible title race. Hopefully, City run away with it.
Yeah, it's boring when City run away. It's boring when anyone runs away with it, to be fair. It wasn't so boring with Liverpool because you're kind of half expecting a bottle.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, go on. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, that's all right. So yeah, Hendo in goal. So the back three of Maguire, Stones, and Kyle Walker.
Yeah,
that's the three centre backs. And then I've gone for Luke Shaw as left back. I know I wouldn't mind seeing Chilwell there. I rate them both.
I think they're both pretty similar, not in terms of style of play, in terms of level.
Yeah, either or is fine for me. And I went with Reece James, a right wing back, just because I couldn't leave out Reece James and I couldn't leave out Kyle Walker, so I've got to start them both.
Yeah.
The midfield three, so I've gone 3-5-2 essentially. If you count, or you can count the wing backs as a 5.
Okay.
So this would have been James Ward-Prowse, but obviously he's not in the team. And if Hendo had been fit, I probably would have picked him. But I went with Declan Rice, Mason Mount, and Phil Foden. And then up front, I went Rashford and Kane, which is Rashford's probably controversial, but he's pacey and.
No Sancho in your starting lineup.
I don't think he fits into the formation of the.
He doesn't fit into a 3-5-2. I agree, but that's why I wouldn't play a 3-5-2. Yeah, that's an interesting lineup. I think that's probably more likely than mine, if I'm being completely honest, because I think Southgate likes a back three.
Yeah, and it's Croatia. Southgate's not going to go full out.
Sorry,
it's Croatia as well, so Southgate's not going to go like all guns blazing.
No, that's it. I wouldn't say my lineup's too all guns blazing because I think Mount playing box to box, he can do the defensive work as well. I think it is more attacking than yours for sure. But yeah, I mean Declan Rice as a CDM, I like that. I think that's fine. But yeah, in his Luke's lineup, as I said, Pickford, James, Walker, Stones, Ming. So he's playing 3 at the back: Chilwell, Rice, Mount, Sancho, Kane, and Foden. So he's playing Foden in a more advanced role then. So I had him playing Cam kind of behind
they
the
have him
front
down
three.
as an attacker on the squad sheet, but he
Yeah,
can play.
he can play in midfield for sure. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's going to obviously massively depend on Harry Maguire. I think this entire kind of lineup, I genuinely think Harry Maguire could change the formation if he's fit or not. He may well play a 3 at the back, even if Maguire is fit, but we'll have to wait and see. I've got a 11 without Maguire, and it does change a couple bits actually. So, Jordan Pickford in goal, 3 at the back. I've got 3-4-3 down because that's kind of what I'm going for. He's quite attacking again. This is not what I think Southgate would go for. This is what I would go for. Jordan Pickford in goal. Tyrone Mings, purely because he's left-footed. He can play on the left side of centre-back. John Stones, Kyle Walker. Left wing-back, I've gone for Ben Chilwell. And then the kind of midfield to the centre mids, I've got Mason Mount and Declan Rice. The right wing back, I've got Reece James. And then the front three are the same: Grealish, Kane, and Sancho. So
that's not bad. You touched on Mings there. I would like to see Mings play in these 2 friendlies.
Yeah.
Whether that's in a back 3 or a back 4.
I think Mings has to play in these friendlies because if it's a back 3, I think he has to the left side. So have you got an 11 without Maguire?
I don't right now, no. But I don't think it would be too much different. I think I'd just put Mings in. Maybe I'd play Phillips in there. I don't know, just because. But Southgate would probably play Phillips.
I'm sure if Southgate could play 11 Phillips, he would.
11 centre backs or right backs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, but yeah, I've gone. Yeah, I'd probably put Mings in, like you said, for the left centre back. But if Maguire's absolutely miss.
That is a good point. I forgot about that. Croatia drew 1-1 with Armenia tonight.
That is true. And obviously, if Joe Gomez was fit, he'd probably be in this squad, which is another big miss.
Yeah, Joe Gomez for me, the best centre back partnership when everyone's fit is Maguire Gomez.
Yeah.
I mean, Gomez gets a lot of stick sometimes. I think a lot of people think he's carried by Van Dijk. Of course, Van Dijk's better, but I like Gomez a lot, and I think he's sometimes what Maguire lacks is his mobility, his versatility, and I think Gomez brings that. But obviously, he's not here, so it's irrelevant. I've got my 11 that I think Southgate's going to go for, and it's vastly different to what I've got as my lineup.
Croatia, yeah.
For Croatia, this is for the first game of the tournament.
Okay.
This is again assuming Maguire's not fit. Assuming Maguire is fit. Sorry, if Maguire is fit, I've got Pickford in goal. I've got a 3-4-2-1 formation. You could kind of call it a 3-4-3, but yeah. John Stones, Harry Maguire, Kyle Walker as the centre backs, Ben Chilwell left wing back. Jordan Henderson, if he's fit, I think he starts. And really? I think if not, Calvin Phillips plays over him.
Yeah,
he'll play one of either Henderson or Phillips. I know he will, and he'll play Declan Rice alongside him, 2 defensive-minded midfielders. Trippier at right wing back, I think he'll play in there, because obviously Walker will be in the back 3, and then I've got 2 kind of cams, if you want to call them that, Mason Mount and Marcus Rashford behind Harry Kane. I think that's the 11 he'll go for if Maguire's fit. If Maguire isn't fit, Stones shifts into the middle of the back 3 and Mings comes in for Maguire.
That's not bad.
Do you think that's pretty close?
Yeah.
What are you?
He's going to play 2 CDMs without a doubt.
Sorry?
He's going to play 2 CDMs without a doubt.
Yeah, he will. He will. You just know he will. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm an advocate for Southgate to an extent. I think he's a good player, a good manager. He was a good player back in the day. I think he doesn't get the credit he deserves, and I think a lot of people slate him for things that really weren't his fault. I mean, like, people complained that we didn't reach the final of the World Cup because we had an easy route when we haven't reached a semi-final since 1990 of the World Cup, that is. And for him to do that and still get criticised, he makes some questionable decisions sometimes, but we are by far the best we have been for a long, long time. And when you look at the players we had in the 2000s, for him to have done that, that's very, very good. I mean, we got to the World Cup semi-finals with Ashley Young, Eric Dyer, and Dele Alli in the starting lineup.
We have come a long way. I mean, we won a World Cup penalty shootout. We've never done that before.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And Eric Dyer scored the winning penalty. And Eric Dyer's not even in the first.
Barely, by the way. He almost missed.
Yeah, almost missed. But
yeah.
we won it. But it's easy to look back as well and say, oh, if Kane would have squared it or something like that. But there's moments like that for every team and every game.
Exactly. And Ashley Young, yeah. And I think the thing is as well is that there's a lot of arrogance around England. There always is that I reckon there's genuinely only one, maybe two teams in the world that England fans would kind of, I don't think we should accept losing to anyone, but I think England fans wouldn't basically cry if we lost against, and that would be France, maybe Belgium, but even then people still criticise them for losing against Belgium. Yeah. So I think people overestimate what we are.
Based on that, what would be like a realistic goal, would you say, for England, the Euros? Like,
I think everything's got to be kept in perspective because obviously if we win the group, which I think we're quite likely to be fair, because I think Croatia aren't the side they were 3 years ago. If we win the group, we are guaranteed to get pretty much either one of France, Germany, or Portugal. Now, I don't care what anybody says. Any one of those is a very, very difficult game. And I'm not saying that it would be acceptable to lose to any of those teams, but, I mean, France, I wouldn't even care if we lost to France. I think, because France are just so, so good. Their squad depth is utterly ridiculous. So France, I think, would be a foregone conclusion. Germany and Portugal are the most likely ones. I think we've got a good chance against either of them, but it's not like the worst thing in the world if we lost against either of them because they're both very good teams. I don't know what you.
Go on.
I was going to say I don't know what you think. If we were, would it be like curtains if we lost to any of those teams in the last 16?
Yeah. Again, like obviously. The stage of the group makes it sound like the stage of the competition.
It makes it sound bad, yeah.
Yeah, it makes it sound bad, but they've got some unbelievable teams, and you don't want to go into an England game like, oh, we're going to watch England today. It's going to be a 4-0 win. Like you want to go to England games knowing like the Croatia semi-final, we wasn't sure which way it was going to go, and if we come out on the right side of Portugal or Germany, we're going to go into it thinking we can win. But it's not definite.
It's not a foregone conclusion, yeah.
And they're probably the best games because you come out and the win feels even better. And then if it's France, I wouldn't mind it personally because I feel like I want to see. Obviously, I'd rather face them later in the competition, hopefully, in the semis because I don't think we can play them in the final because they're on our side of the group.
Yeah, they're on our side of the draw.
Yeah. I'd just like to see how we fare against them. We haven't played them in so long in any tournament.
Well, we can play them in the final because my route I've done actually. We can play them in the final because I mean, if France win the group, then I'm pretty sure we'd avoid them all the way to the final.
Yeah, I just want to see how we compete against France. They're obviously probably they should be the favourites to win it. They're the favourites in my eyes. I
think the only possible weakness, and they've still got good defenders. I think centre backs might be their only possible weakness. I think they've got Kimpembe, I think he's massively underrated, but I think he has got a mistake in him. And you would imagine it would be Varane playing alongside him, would it?
Yeah, I don't know if you saw their under-21 squad they put out.
The under-21 side was
Outrageous. Upamecano,
outrageous.
wasn't
Yeah, that is very true. Actually, yeah, that would be a very England thing to do, wouldn't it? It would. No, I mean, it's difficult to give us kind of expectations for a tournament where, like I say, if we lose in the last 16, it really wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I think if we get through to the quarterfinals and then we lost to Poland or Austria, I think we'd certainly be more annoyed.
Yeah, I think if Southgate beats France, I think that rules out any question marks. If he beats France in a major tournament, that rules out any question marks over him.
Absolutely, but there would still be people who would question mark him. There's, I think, in my opinion, there's always going to be people who would question mark him because
I'll be calling him a tactical genius if he beats France in a major tournament.
I agree. I think if we concede less than 4 against France, I'll be calling him a tactical genius. I think France are that good. But I mean, we're going to do a proper predictions kind of stream like this, and we'll get Mr. Luke Hookins on. Don't you worry about that. And there'll be, it will be a proper stream for that. But my early prediction is I think England will get to the thing is that I said semi-final, but I think I thought it was either going to be last 16 or semi-final, no in between. I can't say it's going out of quarter-final because I'm pretty sure we'll either play Spain or Poland, in my opinion, in the semi-final. Now, Spain sounds difficult on paper, but I really do not rate the Spanish side. I really don't rate them at all. I actually think, and again, this is another early prediction, I think Poland will beat them and top the group. I think they're that average at the minute. I think the whole thing is just a bit of a shambles. I mean, Jose Enrique, the former Barcelona manager, leaving every single Real Madrid player out. You're talking, obviously Ramos, he hasn't played a lot, but Carvajal, Isco, Asensio, there's a lot of players that missed out. Is it a Real Madrid agenda? I don't know, or a Barcelona anti-Real Madrid agenda. But to take only 24 players as well, and I look at their squad and I just think it doesn't look like a Spanish team. It looks like, Poland drew with Russia today. I saw that game. Yeah, Poland played a quite weak side and Russia played pretty close to their strongest. Russia looked the better side, but I think Poland's strongest side could beat Spain because you always get an upset. And I think that could be the upset of the group stage, in my opinion. And then if that was the case, if we got through, we'd play Poland in the quarterfinals, which is quite a favourable quarterfinal.
Yeah, it'd be like when we played Sweden in the World Cup.
I mean, Poland did give us trouble at Wembley. They gave us trouble, but that was down to John Stones mainly. But I mean,
Kosovo gave us trouble at some areas, but
we
rolled that out pretty quickly.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the thing is that if we do get that route, and I looked at the kind of the route to the semi-final on our side of the draw, and I think if I remember rightly, if everything went how I predicted, we play Portugal in the semi-final, because I think Portugal will finish third, but will beat their last 16 opponent, and I think they would end up playing Turkey in the quarterfinals. I think Portugal would beat them. Portugal in a semi-final, I think that's a really good shot at getting to a final.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be bold now and say that we'll get to the final of the Euro 2020.
That is a big prediction.
We'll lose to France in the final. Maybe it's my confidence.
So you're predicting the route we finish second?
Yeah, because no. I'm predicting the route where we finish first.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think we'll beat Germany in the last 16. That's a big call. It's a big call.
Do you think Southgate will do what he did with the World Cup, where he'll look at the routes and then play, if we're qualified, play a weakened team for the last game? Or do you think?
I think he would, but I think if we're going to drop points in the group, it will come in that first game against Croatia.
Yeah.
So I don't think we'll have enough room to do that.
I also wouldn't rule out Czech Republic. Although we've beaten them heavily in was it
No,
5?
no, I wouldn't rule out Czech Republic. And I think we'll top the group, but I think Croatia and Czech Republic are both quite live opponents. And obviously Scotland's live because it's obviously a derby, whatever you want to call it, a rivalry. So I don't think Scotland have the quality to trouble us on paper. And I think maybe with a full capacity crowd, proper Scottish away end, maybe it'd be different. But I don't know. Well, we'll have to wait.
London Park, the 2 free kick. Was it 2 free kicks?
Yeah, it was 2 free kicks. I think it was.
Lee
Yeah.
Griffiths, wasn't it?
Sorry.
Was it Lee Griffiths?
I think it was Lee Griffiths. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah,
absolute pain.
That was. Yeah. Well, we scored the equaliser.
Yeah, Kane equalised,
Yeah. So I'm gonna. I don't know if you've got a predicted 11 for the Austria friendly.
Yeah.
I've got mine up now. I tried to take some inspiration from his friendlies that he had pre-World Cup, and he went pretty. He didn't tamper too much. He went pretty strong. So I think he'll go strong where he can, but I don't think he'll include the players who played in the Europa League or Champions League final. So I think he'll go 3-4-2-1 because I think he'll kind of practice the 3 at the back formation in the event that Maguire is likely to be injured for the first game. So I think he'll go Jordan Pickford in goal. Trippier, I think Trippier will play as a left-sided centre-back because of what's it? Maguire, yeah, that's it. Maguire being out. I've got Tyrone Mings playing Connor Cody. Bukayo Saka maybe at left wing back because Luke Shaw, but he might play Luke Shaw, I think. But I mean, Chilwell and Shaw both played, so he might play Saka at left wing back. Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice as the kind of midfielders. Right wing back, I've got Trent. I think because James played, Walker played, and Trippier is playing on the other side. And then Jadon Sancho, Jesse Lingard as the kind of 2 count. I mean, we know Lingard's going to play. And then Harry Kane up top. I don't know if he's going to risk Harry Kane, but then he played Harry Kane in the pre-World Cup friendlies. So
yeah, so I mean, I wasn't sure about Kane, but I put him in mine because I feel like he's going to start. He's the captain.
Yeah.
And obviously he didn't play in any of the finals. So yeah, I went with Hendo in goal. Obviously, I said I wanted to see how he fares in these 2 games.
Yeah.
I went with Chilwell at left back, but I think after what you just said, he might play Saka. Give him a trial at left back. Formation I went for sort of 4-4-2, but 2 like wide cams.
So 4-2-2-2. No,
yeah.
4-2-2-2. Yeah. I always think I'm saying too many twos when I just say that formation. So you think he's going to play 4 at the back without Maguire?
Yeah, I think because he's going to need to experiment it.
But you can't experiment too much, and I think if we're not playing Maguire in the first game, surely we're going to play 3 at the back.
Yeah, I think we will. But I think in terms of players, I want to see him use. This is what fits it like.
Okay. Yeah.
So I went Chilwell, but I wouldn't mind seeing Saka there. Mings and Connor Cody as centre backs.
Yeah.
And I went with Trippier at right back.
Okay.
I think he could play Trent. It'll be Trent or Trippier probably.
So no Stones in the back in the.
No, I thought about Stones, but I don't know. Did he play in the UCL final?
No, I think it was Diaz and. No, he did play. Yeah, he did play. Yeah, that's why I left him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he did play. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so I took that into consideration just in case because I wasn't sure. And then I went Bellingham and Ward-Prowse in the middle.
Okay.
because I want to see Bellingham play.
So you think Ward-Prowse is gonna start in this game, get a run out? Okay.
Yeah. Then I went with Lingard and Grealish as the two attacking.
So Lingard on the right, Grealish on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I went Watkins and Kane.
Do you think all three of the players
I think all three are going to start.
Are going to start? Wow, that is a bold call. That is a bold call. It's interesting. We've pretty much been told Jesse Lingard's going to start.
Yeah.
I think the others are. I don't know. I think maybe Ward-Prowse and Watkins will come on and possibly start against Romania, but it's an interesting one. The thing is with these pre-tournament friendlies, it's always really difficult to predict these pre-tournament friendlies as to who's going to play, because you could quite easily make a case for him kind of playing some of the fringe players, keeping them fresh and ready for if they need to be called upon. But then you could say it's getting the first team in motion, getting the cogs rolling for the final tournament. So it's always difficult, really. But
that's why.
Sorry, go on.
That's why I think tomorrow's lineup will sort of tell us what Southgate's thinking of these two games and what he's got in mind in terms of what he wants to do before Croatia, whether he wants to see players that haven't played much in an England shirt, or whether he just wants to prepare the team ready for Croatia and give those players minutes as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, just a quick. I've just got a quick rundown of obviously Austria, our opponents. Their last three results, unless they've played a friendly since, but I don't think they have, were all in the qualifiers. They drew 2-2 away at Scotland, beat the Faroe Islands 3-1 at home, and then got battered 4-0 by Denmark at home, which is an interesting one. So I'll just very, very, very quickly, if I can find it, that is, which I won't be able to now because, of course, I won't. Of course, no, that's not the right squad. Fantastic.
You're trying to get out their team?
I had their squad up. I do apologise, Jason. You feel free to make some filler.
Some filler.
Just talk about something.
All right, we'll. Eric Dyer. Did we talk about Eric Dyer yet?
No, we haven't talked about Eric Dyer.
Eric Dyer, someone who Southgate's put so much trust in, didn't even make the 33.
I was delighted with that. Yeah,
I was delighted.
I was convinced he was going to go.
But would I complain if he scored another winning penalty? Absolutely not.
So, sorry, their squad. And again, it'd be interesting to know how many of these players you'll know off the bat. Goalkeepers, Pavel Pavan, Alexander Schläger and Daniel Bachmann. Defenders, Alexander Dragovic, David Alaba, Martin Hinteregger, Stefan Lehner, Andreas Ulmer, Christopher Trimmel, Stefan Posch, Philipp Lienhardt, Marco Friedel. Midfielders, the captain, Julian Baumgartlinger, Stefan Ilsanker, Valentino Lazaro, Alessandro Schopp, Florian Grilic, Louis Schaub, Xavier Schläger, Christoph Baumgartner, Konrad Lehmer. And then their forwards, Marko Arnautovic, Marcel Sabitzer, Michael Gregorich, Karim Onisiwo, and Sasa Kaladzic.
It's nice.
No, I thought that. And do you know what? I think actually they're very, very decent all the way up to maybe their strikers.
Yeah, I mean, Arnautovic, I completely forgot about him.
Well, the only reason I don't include Arnautovic as decent is he's 32 and he's been playing for I'm pretty sure, a second division Chinese Super League team. No, they are Super League. I think they got promoted the season before. Shanghai Port. He's been playing in the Chinese Super League. He's 32. I mean, I don't know. They've included Sabitzer as a forward, but Sabitzer will play in the midfield. He always does. Yeah, he's their star player in my opinion out of all of those.
They've got quite a lot of Bundesliga players.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what I was saying. I think they're really, really solid defensively. I mean, you've got Dragovic, Leverkusen, Alaba. Obviously, he's going to Real Madrid. Hinteregger is at Frankfurt. They've and in midfield, I think again some very, very solid players. Baumgartlinger, Ilsanker, Lazaro, some solid players. Konrad Lehmer from Leipzig. I think up front is where maybe they're left lacking a little bit. As I said, their only recognised strikers, I would say, is a 32-year-old Arnautovic. Onisiwo from Mainz. He's a player I saw last season. I wasn't 100% convinced by. He's kind of come more into the fray now. And Sasa Kalajdzic. Do you know who that is? He's 23 years old. He plays for Stuttgart. We will get up how he's done this season for Stuttgart.
I guess he was a Bundesliga player.
Wow, I didn't even see that. He scored 15 goals in 30 games for Stuttgart.
Not bad.
I did not know that. That is a good return. I must admit.
Decent season, Stuttgart.
Stuttgart did have a decent season, yeah. So, I mean, I said that they were left wanting in attack. Maybe they're not. But again, that result against Denmark maybe suggests to me that they're not quite as good as maybe we'll think. But I think all around they're very solid, but they're not standout. Again, the only standout player I would say they have is Sabitzer. Other than that, they've got some very solid defenders, solid midfielders. A striker who's had a good season. Outside of that, I'm not massively impressed by their attack. So I don't think they'll score many goals at the tournament. And I certainly don't think they'll score many goals against us, if any. I think we can probably get a clean sheet against them. I mean, thoughts on the Austria squad and thoughts on how we'll get on against them.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think they're a good squad on paper. Got quite a lot of quality. Marcel Sabitzer is obviously their standout player. He's had a pretty good season at Leipzig, I'm pretty sure as well.
Yeah.
I think Leipzig have had a good season in general.
Yeah.
Obviously they don't really perform well together. 4-0 loss to Denmark must have been pretty heavy.
Yeah.
So I remember, I think I was looking at that game before and I was like, this could go either way. But
yeah,
Denmark have become a good side as well.
Denmark are a good side now. They can't be overlooked. Yeah, Denmark are a good side.
In terms of how we cope with them, I don't know, to be honest.
I think it all depends on obviously the lineup, doesn't it?
Really? If we go weak, I still think we'll beat them.
Yeah, I think we'll beat them.
But
yeah,
if we go weak and they go full strength, it's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah, I mean, I think as far as I'm aware, Henderson's at least going to play a part in tomorrow's game. So whether he starts or not, I don't know. But I think we've got enough to beat Austria. As much as we said they're pretty solid all throughout, I would probably fancy us to beat them. If I had to make a prediction, I would say we'll beat them 2-0. And I'll say I think Kane will get one if he plays. And where else is the goal going to come from? I forgot he's in my starting 11 now. We'll say Kane and Lingard, and that'll stick it to Southgate a little bit, won't it? What about your prediction?
I was going to say 2-0 as well. I was going to say Lingard to score.
Yeah.
But I'll go with Grealish for the other goal.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's interesting. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. We've had a look at the England squad. I think generally, as much as maybe we're not 100% on board with 4 right backs, you can see the thinking. Ward-Prowse not being there, devastated, and I think that's the worst decision out of them all. Can kind of see the thinking. Taking half-fit players is a bit, again, 50-50. But I think on the whole, the squad is good still. I think the Maguire worry is the biggest one. I think if Maguire's not fit, that massively limits where we can go in the tournament. I think if Maguire's not fit, it massively limits where we can go in the tournament. But I think on the whole, I'm very happy with that squad, as much as I'm devastated that James Ward-Prowse isn't there. And any final thoughts on the squad?
Yeah, like you say, I think it's easy when you see it. You're like, if it's not your 26 you want, it's easy to be like angry and which is obviously just in here at the moment if you're seeing it. But now it's been about 6-7 hours since the squad was announced. We've had time to sit down, we've discussed it.
Yeah,
I think it's a good squad. Do I think it's a squad that can win the Euros? Probably not.
I don't think it will win the
I don't
Euros.
really have a squad that can win the Euros yet. I might get proved wrong, but I think that this squad has potential, and that's what I like. That most of the players are young; they've not got a lot of caps, so I think the next few major tournaments are looking promising.
I think the next few major tournaments are looking very promising. I mean, people forget, Marcus Rashford's still young, Mason Mount's young, Phil Foden, Jude Bellingham. The next generation is looking good. I think maybe the only place where even defensively, I think the next generation. I think obviously we still got Joe Gomez. Maybe if Ben Godfrey and Ezri Konsa step up,
And
if Southgate picks him tomorrow as well, so that's defensively we're pretty good. I would say maybe our only weak area is young keepers. I think Henderson is probably likely to take the kind of baton, but it's not 100% guaranteed that he develops like we want him to. And if he doesn't, where are we looking? Realistically.
Well, if Pope was fit, he'd be starting for me. But
Pope's 20. How was he?
I don't know his age.
28, I think, something like that. So obviously that's it's not massively old for a goalkeeper, but yeah.
We haven't really got keepers coming through. I'm not sure who's the keeper in the under-21 squad.
Ramsdale, hence why he was bought.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So
we need some keepers to come through. Get your gloves out.
Yeah. Oh, you should have seen me in goal at 5-a-side. I was unbeatable.
It's all right. That's even bigger than the Euros.
That is true. Those Portugal Athletic days, they were even bigger.
Unbeatable.
Yeah. But yeah, that like I said, that's the squad. It's now, what is it? It's the 2nd of June, so we're 11 days away from our first game at the tournament. It seems mad that it's already come around. 9 days away from the tournament starting itself. Obviously, there's one person watching, so it's either Luke or Ryan. I'm going to say it's Ryan, but I don't know. Either way, for anyone who does watch this after, obviously, my assessments will be entirely finished by the 11th of June, which is when the tournament starts, which means that there'll be plenty of Euro content coming out. We'll probably do a preview of Romania, and we'll get Luke on and maybe Ryan as well. We'll get some others on. And then there'll be a kind of full tournament preview that we'll do before. Full tournament preview, and we'll also do just a video purely based on England for the Euro 2020 tournament. So again, a few streams coming up between now and the 11th, and then after that, the proper videos will start. But
so basically,
that's
what
exactly. I think that's what. Yeah, because we've spent hours trying to sort this out, and it's now midnight. We've been on stream for an hour and 12 minutes. And we've had a peak of 3 people watching. So, I mean, that's just unbelievable. No, I'm joking. I sound really ungrateful, honestly. Thank you. And again, this is for developing our skills in this kind of area that we want to get into, and we want to be talking about sport. So that's exactly what we're going to do here. But thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, obviously, as well, to be notified when we're going live, or if we are, if we've uploaded a video. There'll be more videos, including me and Jason and others as well, Luke and many others who may well join along the way. So, thank you so much for watching, and we'll speak to you guys in a bit.